Okay, now that that's somehow basically that's not what I want. Okay, now that we have managed to actually get our login or our registration working, the next thing we want to do is we want to go add our login. So we must just always check these bloody brackets because people know me in brackets. Okay, so we must go do our login. So we're going to say login.set, unclick listener, new, unclick listener, and we're going to close this back up again right after I've opened it and open up that Firebase Assistant again. And we're going to go look now at sign in existing users. And we can do this. We can go and say the following. So this time we are going to use sign in, but we need this again, because remember that this currently only lives inside this set of brackets. So, and it's not accessible outside of it. So we will have a null value. So always just remember what lives in the brackets, dies in the brackets. Okay, so we're now going to go say mauth dot sign in with email and password, and we're going to pass in entered email, comma entered password, and do the exact same thing. You're going to now sign in with email and password, and we're going to add an on complete listener, and in there we are going to pass new on complete listener. And you guys can see that we are actually passing in an interface, and that's why we have the empty method. Okay, so in here we are going to do this following. We're going to say if task, this should look familiar by now, that is successful, then we have done a good job. Okay, no, I'm joking. Then we have logged in this user, and I am going to go and say that these brackets are irritating me, so I'm just going to remake them. Yeah. So if that task is successful, we can then pop a toast and say logged in, and then we can go say mauth.get current user.get email successfully, and we know that we can add the else clause. Where we can say we've happened, no login for you. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to add the on failure listener. And I want to show you what the on failure listener does in the next little bit here. And in the on failure listener, we just want to pop a toast message where we want to say e.get message. Ah! I have everything under control. Okay, and it wants the last semicolon, because we would also add an on success listener here. There's all sorts of listeners you guys can add that you can read up about. So let's run this and let's go test this little guy out for a minute. And after we've added this, we're going to add more and more functionality into this little app. And I should at some stage explain to you what the app's all about. Okay, again, that is the system UI. It is not my app. Okay, so let's go enter an email. Mike@gmail.com, and the password's 123456. And if I now click on login, give it a minute, and it said logged in Mike successfully. I need to add a space there. But if I try and re-register Mike now, that on failure listener is going to come up and tell me, listen, the user already existed. Okay, and if I try to log him in with the incorrect credentials now, the on failure listener should pop up for me. What you talking about? Well, maybe it's just remembering the previous state and we have to go fix that. But let's change this up here, make him Mikey. And if we then click on login, we should get that on failure message pop up. And there's no user record corresponding. So that's what is quite nice about the on failure listener. I do not know why that login kept working. We'll go take a look. And that is the end of this video.